Happy New Year.
And to you too.
Firstly, can I say great shoes?
I was just looking at them. I love them.
Oh, hang on, they're coming round. Oh, I thought you were coming round to have another look today. Is the shoe? Are you a shoe girl?
I am a shoe girl, yeah, massively. Always in high heels at 5'1". So.
Is that about confidence, maybe, then, the high heels? Does it give you a boost?
I think so. I think, like, posture makes you more assertive, makes you feel more in control, you know.
Yeah. I'm loving your hair like that as well.
It's
longer
quite
lasting,
dramatic.
isn't it? I like it, though.
Yeah, I'm trying to get used to it.
Good.
I mean, you've been on the show many times, Katie. You know, we talk about that horrific thing that happened to you 9 years ago. And so it's perfectly understandable how your confidence would be absolutely shattered. I mean, how long has it taken you to build up to where you've got now, and how difficult has that been?
I think, in the book I talk about, actually, it's sort of a journey, not a destination, and I suppose many people can relate to the fact that you can have this amazing confidence and then people or situations can bring you back down again. I mean, I remember feeling in a really good place and then having a baby, thinking, oh, this is a whole new world, I don't know if I'm going to be any good at this. And so I think it's never-ending roller coaster, really, but I think what we all strive for is that stability, and I think I always talk about my husband giving me confidence, and it wasn't that I needed a man to feel good about myself. You know, I always see men as a luxury, not a necessity. Yeah. But he gave me stability. Is that horrible? He's probably watching. But, you know, I mean, I was confident without him, but he enhanced my life and he gave me certainty and stability, so...
And what was your personality like before the attack? Were you always quite confident then, or...?
I thought I was, but looking back, maybe I wasn't. Maybe I was more insecure. And I was 24, so I think, you know, I'm nearly 34 now, so it's quite a hard comparison, a decade apart.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
How do you cope with when people mention, say, your attack 9 years ago? When we mention it, does it not bring you back to when it happened? How did you overcome that?
Yeah,
if you know what I mean.
That is a problem, and that is something I try and avoid. You know, there's certain jobs I wouldn't do if I had to completely recount everything because it's not worth my own peace of mind and mental health. And it is difficult if people constantly want to drag you backwards. But then there are positives at my charity and my foundation. I've been able to meet other people who have been in acid attacks in the last few weeks or months and talk to them genuinely about how things are going to move forward.
But it does mean, doesn't it, that you can never be the woman... You can never not be the woman who had the acid attack.
Yeah, that's true.
I suppose because you've been so open and honest and talked about it and written books about it, you can't ever chuck that persona to one side, can you?
Yeah, it's funny when I see a headline and I'm called, like, Acid Girl, and I'm like, oh, I should have, like, a cape and, like, pants over my trousers. Yeah, I mean, in my private life, I'm Belle's mum, I'm Richie's wife, you know, so...
Who's your dream professionally that you just do what we're doing here and there's no tag attached to you?
Yeah, I mean, writing this book was a bit of a dream and an ambition because it's not an autobiography, it's not recounting personal details, it's got personal moments and anecdotes, but it's in the self-help genre. You know, it's not in the misery memoir genre, you know, so that was a big personal achievement.
Well, it's called, Katie Piper, Confidence, The Secret, but, you know, this is all very positive, of course, but you do talk about some darker times, and there was a time when you said you got so low that you were turning to alcohol. Well, you didn't realise it was a problem until a friend kind of pointed out how much you were drinking.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone knows a lot about my background, and I sometimes think wrongly I'm packaged up as this, like, positive, happy, inspirational person. I'm writing the book, I didn't want it to be a fluffy kind of, you know, skim-through read. I wrote it with a consultant psychologist, I wrote it with case studies, and I had to tell the truth about my ongoing recovery. And, you know, I talk about all the things that I did turn to and the tools I used, exercise, healthy eating, but there were some darker things that I turned to.
And when that friend, we talk a lot here, and like, if you had a friend that was doing this, would you tell? And we have a lot of those kind of hypothetical discussions. Did you take that on board straight away? Were you cross with her? Was it a little raw nerve that she hit?
I think it was difficult because when it is a raw nerve, you do feel a bit defensive. But then I think it was good because it was nipped in the bud early, and I was able to, you know, I'd come so far with so much counselling, it would be awful to go so far back on a slippery slope, you know. So it's funny, since it was said in the public area, I've had quite a lot of private direct messages on Instagram from other people who've said, oh, I'd love to know the therapist you use, or could you give me any advice? I'm having the same problem. And when I look at their profile, I'm like, they've got it so all together. They look glamorous, they look happy, and it just shows you never know what's going on behind closed doors.
It's like self-anaesthetising, isn't it?
Self-medicating,
Just quickly,
what
your
point do you
daughter...
think...
Sorry,
Oh,
Katie.
so what point do you think you knew you found you had the confidence?
I still don't, you know. I think it's up and down. Do you know, I'm my most confident at work because I feel like, well, I've been doing this now for like 7, 8 years. This is my 5th book.
You're in control.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I don't know, if I had to go to like a mother and baby group, I'd probably think, oh, I don't know anyone. I don't know what to say.
up and give speeches to hundreds and
Yeah,
hundreds
but you've
of
got
people.
your working hat on. Then,
Yeah,
haven't you?
I like public speaking, and no one can tell me what I'm saying is wrong because it's my story.
You're an expert on yourself.
Yeah.
We get some pretty fabulous guests here on Loose Women. There's plenty more where that came from. Just click here to watch more interviews with a whole range of famous faces. And click here to subscribe. It's free, so you'd be silly not to, really.